Next part of pharmacokinetics is distribution. It is like a story. When the drug goes into the systemic circulation, first it is absorbed, then it is distributed. Process of distribution of a drug from systemic circulation to organs and tissues is called distribution. Conditions affecting distributions are: under normal conditions, protein binding capacity is much larger than is drug concentration. Consequently, the free fraction is generally constant. Many drugs bind to plasma proteins with an equilibrium between bound and free molecules. Hence, it can be said that when the drug is bound with the plasma protein, then it is in inactive form, and when the drug will be free, it will be more active. The important concept is competition between drugs for plasma protein binding sites may increase the free fraction, possibly enhancing the effects of drug displaced. Examples are sulfonamides and bilirubin in neonates. So, sulfonamides have the ability to bind with the albumin proteins. When sulfonamides will bind with the albumin, the levels of bilirubin will increase in the neonates. That will cause malfunction. Similar situation goes for sulfonamides. When warfarin is taken with sulfonamides will bind with albumin, thus displacing the warfarin, hence increasing the level of warfarin that will cause bruising or bleeding. Now we will look into special barriers to distribution. Placental barrier. Most small molecular weight drugs cross the placental barrier, although fetal blood levels are usually lower than maternal. Similarly, blood-brain barrier permeable only to lipid-soluble drugs are those of very low molecular weight. So it is obvious that if a drug crosses the blood-brain barrier, it will easily cross the placenta. For example, these are two antithyroid drugs. If they get into the placental barrier, they will cause cretinism, that will be increase in size and limbs and retardation. So if you are given the task to develop a safer drug in pregnancy, what will you do? You will choose a water soluble drug that will not cross the placental barrier. It should be large in size and it should be protein bound. Similarly, if you are set to choose anticonvulsant drug, you will choose phenobarbital because it is more protein bound, and so it will not cross the blood-brain barrier and or placental barrier. Next concept is apparent volume of distribution, abbreviated as VD, a kinetic parameter of a drug that correlates dose with plasma level at 0 time. So we can write this equation: VD is equal to dose over C naught. C naught is a plasma at 0 time interval. So volume of distribution is inversely proportional to plasma at 0 time. So we can say this relationship can be used for calculating VD by using the dose only if one knows about C naught, that is plasma at 0 time. VD is low when high percentage of drug is bound to plasma proteins. VD is automatically high when high percentage of drug is being sequestered in tissues. This raises the possibility of displacement by other agents. For example, verapamil and quinidine can displace digoxin from tissue binding sites, thus causing the digoxin toxicity. Approximate VD values in an ideal weight person, that is 70 kg, plasma volume is 3 liter, blood volume is 5 liter, extracellular fluid is 12 to 14 liter, total body water is 40 to 42 liter. So if one asks the question, where is the drug? You can say if most is in plasma, then VD is low. If most of the drug is outside plasma, then VD is high. So VD is denoted in liters, but more useful equation is liter per kg. You can calculate the liters by multiplying with the weight of person in kg. Redistribution. In addition to crossing the blood-brain barrier, lipid-soluble drugs redistribute into fat tissues prior to elimination. In the case of CNS drugs, the duration of an initial dose may depend more on the redistribution rate than on the half-life. With a second dose, the blood fat is less, therefore, the rate of redistribution is less and second dose has a longer duration of action. Clinical value is thiopental. When given IV anesthetic, it reaches the brain in less than 1 minute and drug has a half-life of 9 hours because it is redistributed into the fat tissues. From this figure, you can see when the drug is given, it will go rapidly into the CNS and slowly into the fat tissues. Third step will be it come back into the blood, and from fat tissues it will also come back into the blood. If subsequent doses are given, it will rapidly go into the CNS and fat absorption will be low. Thank you so much. This is all about distribution pharmacokinetics.